T-shirt fresh from the dryer, and you can feel the comfort natural gas gives us every day. For over 100 years, Southern California Gas Company has provided safe, reliable natural gas service. It warms our homes, powers cleaner vehicles, and cooks our food at a fraction of the cost of other energy sources with less environmental impact, today and for decades to come. Natural gas, part of the clean energy solution. Learn more at SoCalGas.com. Search solution.
Hey there, I'm Tori with your hometown station weather. Sunny and hot today most of the week. Highs in the 90s, overnight lows in the mid-60s. Don't miss out. Get your tickets to Diamond Rio at the Santa Clarita Performing Arts Center, College of the Canyons, Saturday, June 30th at 7 p.m. with special guest Savannah Burrows. Tickets are on sale now. Visit canyonspac.com. That's canyonspac.com.
It's Tuesday, isn't it? Tuesday? Is it Tuesday? You put your mic up a little
There
bit.
I am.
Most of the time. It's Tuesday on award-winning KHTS 1220 AM and 98.1 FM. That's a nice, strong signal, the 98.1 FM. Cody's producing the show. Andrew's in the studio with big audience with us today. So, new breaking news. Kathleen Bruno, my hostess, is going to be doing her own radio show called the Kathleen. Let's figure out Kathleen Bruno Hour, the Kathleen Bruno Show.
I think we should have people call in and tell us what they like.
No, you're a true leader. That's why you're doing the show. I mean, this station's very picky about who's on the air, so it's an honor to represent females. We'll talk about that because our big dilemma of the day. That's our new topic, right?
Yeah, our daily dilemma.
Our daily dilemma is: how does a man live with a woman? What's your dilemma?
How does a woman live with a man?
Okay, so we've got something to talk about today. Kathleen Bruno, I'm the coach, Coach Ron Tunick. Every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. All right, when you look at relationships, when you look at California, I think it's 65, but I'll say 60% of all marriages end in divorce, which is horrible.
It is.
People get married for the wrong reasons, and we know what those reasons are. It's a family show, so we can't get into.
Well, people get married for the right reasons, and it still doesn't work.
Yeah, interestingly put. I would agree with that. People get married for the right reasons. You know, some countries have what they call shotgun weddings or marriages, right? They're arranged.
True. Now, my understanding of a shotgun wedding is somebody
stands there with a shotgun and says you're going to get married.
The woman is pregnant. That's a shotgun wedding.
Is that what it is?
But arranged marriages are slightly different in that, it's been arranged by the parents.
You know more stuff than I know.
I don't know more stuff than you do. I just know different stuff than you know.
We need a lot of shout-outs today. Who's your partner that listens to our show?
Stanley Taft.
Is he listening to things?
I believe he is.
Big shout-out to Stanley.
Yes. Avid golfer.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Big shout-out to Steve. You know who you are. Big shout-out to Bobby. You know who you are. We got all the boys over at Leon's listening. People are so impressed with you. So that's why you're here.
Oh, yeah. That's a nice thing to say.
Yeah, it is. Everybody wants to know what you look like, so you're going to have to go to the website, Century. What's your website?
Century 21.
Century 21, and look for your picture?
Yes.
Yeah, we're not giving it away. We need people to work to find out who you are, right?
No. No, that is not true.
No,
I want them to call me and ask me for business.
Well, you're the number one realtor in Southern California. You don't need any more business. Give somebody else a chance. Let other people live.
I'm working from abundance, Coach, but it just works out this way.
And you donate a lot of money to charity. I know that. You do a lot of good stuff. All right, back to the big dilemma of the day.
Well, hold on. Before we go there, I really, really had an amazing experience yesterday that I'd like to share and talk about a shout-out. We wanted to bring another dog into our family.
Oh, wow.
And we were committed to a rescue.
Yep.
And I had it in my head that I could not go to the shelter and look because it would make me sad.
By yourself?
Yes, and I thought I'm just going to...
You can always take me.
Yeah, but I thought for everyone, if I pick one, I'm leaving.
That wasn't sincere how you just passed that up.
Well, would you go to the shelter?
Yes, we have a rescue, our little Lexi Lulu, which I'm going to... last week, I was
She was attacked. Is she okay?
We're going to talk about it. She's going to survive. She 14 stitches in her neck.
Wow.
But the coyotes are all over Santa Clarita.
Did you put up your electric fence?
Not yet. I'll tell you about that. But keep going. I want to hear your story. So you're at the shelter in Castaic.
No, I'm not there quite yet. So I send my 17-and-a-half-year-old over there.
Dylan.
Carson. Because I think I can't walk in and out of the shelter because it's going to make me sad. Because I'm going to leave all the dogs.
No, I get that.
So he goes over to do the recon. He comes home and he says, there's 2 that I think you would really like. Can you come by? We'll play with them, see how they are.
Yeah.
So I go over, and first of all, Mark helped us, who was fabulous. He was so knowledgeable about each dog.
Fabulous guy, Mark. Yeah, thank you.
Kind of put us together with what we wanted.
Yeah.
But what I was so touched by was the fact that probably 6 of the dogs we asked about, there were people waiting on a wait list to adopt them.
For the ones you wanted.
Yeah, for the ones for the ones that were in there.
So money talks, and you know what walks. So you must have cash, and you got Winston.
We got Winston because I truly believed he was the one that wasn't going to get adopted, and I couldn't leave him there.
Oh, my goodness. So you didn't take the popular dog.
No.
You took the unpopular.
No, we did. Turning into my mom slowly but surely.
Good for you. So how old is Winston?
Winston is 7.
He's beautiful.
He is beautiful.
How do you get, I don't want to get into it, but, somebody dropped Winston off. Maybe they were moving to Texas or something. I don't know. I don't get it. How do you let go of your family? I mean, you and I are both pet lovers.
Yeah, we are.
And they become part of our family.
They are, yes.
Can you imagine? I could never imagine dropping Lexi Lulu off anywhere.
No, that would be tragic because they don't understand. It's not like it's horrible.
That's the part I don't understand. Can we talk about that for a second?
Uh-huh.
They don't speak English. Dogs don't speak English.
But
I don't know what they speak.
They speak love. They know love language.
I know. I don't speak love.
You know love language.
I wish I hug, I kiss her, she kisses back. She's only 7 pounds. She's got this little tiny
cute
tongue. So a lot of French kissing. She does. She's a little terrier.
I don't think you're supposed to say that on air.
Oh, I think I can say that. But when you look at, I love Lexi Lulu.
Right, like your heart genuinely loves her. Yes. And that's how I am. We have Callie, who we rescued also, and she is just the best dog I've ever had, the love of my life. She's adorable. She sleeps with me.
How old is Callie?
Callie's also 7.
Oh. So what did Callie say about Winston coming in last night?
She wasn't amused initially, but she's warming up today.
She wasn't very happy.
No, she was not, because she's a princess.
Yeah, but like her mother.
Yes.
But let me ask you a question. Callie sleeps with you. Where's
does.
Winston going to sleep? Let me tell you what. If Winston crawls into that bed, you're going to have a problem.
And I'm not.
Callie's not going to like it.
Callie is not. She's a little princess. She's not very big, so it's like yours, Lexi Lulu. She can sleep with us, Lexi Lulu. But she's a little spoiled. So I don't know, Winston. I think it's going to be okay because today they were playing already, which I thought was adorable. They're just licking each other and running around. I thought that was so sweet.
I might have to do some coaching or counseling in my doggy camp.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So call me.
We'll bring her over.
I'll call you. Yeah.
You're the dog whisperer.
Yeah. I'll call you in a couple of days and see how this whole thing's going.
Yeah, because it might be totally different in 2 days.
No kidding. So last week I was too upset to talk. Literally too upset to talk about it. But Lexi, so Ellen and I take Lexi out every morning between 6:30 and 7. So Ellen takes Lexi out in the backyard. Standing in the doorway, Lexi goes out, does her thing. The coyote's hiding on the side of her house.
That is so scary. And
picks up Lexi by her neck and starts running across the back of Ellen's yelling, screaming. We have a 7-foot fence on the other side of the yard, and the coyote has Lexi in her mouth trying to jump the 7-foot fence. Ellen is running towards the coyote, scared it enough where the coyote drops Lexi.
Wow. It's scary how aggressive they are.
Especially right now. So all of our neighbors are talking about coyotes in their backyards. One of my neighbors, we live in a cul-de-sac right across, she saw a pack of coyotes last night.
That's usually how they travel.
So I went and bought an air horn, because if you make loud noises, it scares them, right? So an air horn will absolutely work.
But then you have to be present. So are you scared to let her out now by herself?
Yes, we are. Yeah, we're 14 stitches later. She spent all
Right.
day last Tuesday in the hospital. We brought her home, and she's healing. And, she's not herself.
Well, yeah, because it's not just physical. It'll be emotional for her.
So about an air horn, I'm gonna arm myself somehow. I mean, these coyotes have me upset, and so then a side of me says, well, guess what? We're living in their neighborhood, so
That's
how
true.
I don't know how to deal with it emotionally.
Well,
can you help me?
I can, because we go back to it only has the meaning that you attribute to it. So if that's why wars are started, because everybody thinks their
But
side
I'm
is the right side.
No, I'm seriously angry at coyotes, and I realize that we're living in their
Right.
neighborhoods.
Which doesn't make any sense. The coyote was doing what the coyote knows to do.
Right.
So you can't be inherently angry at the coyote, but you can protect your baby.
Yeah.
And the most humane way to do that, I think, is to put up an electric fence where it doesn't necessarily hurt them other than it shocks them, but it pushes them backwards, and they know that's not a safe place for them to go.
So they've been hiding we have a pretty big piece of property and a hill, and they've been hiding in the bushes in the hill. So the homeowners association literally yesterday and today is cutting back every bush it's going to get ugly the way the hill's going to look now. But
that's
now we
smart
can see
and humane.
Yeah, we're going to do everything. We're like, if you looked at Ellen and I, we look like the Secret Service with Lexi. We'll let her walk about 10 feet in front of us.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
But that's,
we're scared. This is
you
our
have
child.
post-traumatic
This is
stress from the coyote.
We have it.
Yeah, and I can understand that. And so I'm not defending either side. I'm just saying the coyote's doing what he's doing, and now it's your job to protect your family.
How big is Winston? Winston's big boy.
No, Winston's tiny.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, that's the picture I showed you. Just looks big.
He looks, yeah.
No, he's little.
You're kidding.
No.
He looks big.
No, a coyote could take him away too.
Wow. So if you're listening, you've got to be just what you said. You've got to be vigilant and present.
Yes.
I mean, it's serious. If you love your pets, they're not. I call them pets, but they're really part of your family.
They are in my case. In your case, they certainly are.
Yeah, Lexi's not a pet. She's part of our family. So this is a continuation of last week where we're going to put an addition to our wrought iron fence. So I get home after the show. I call 3 fence companies, and 2 of them said, excuse me, 2 of them said they'd be out tomorrow. And we're going to invest thousands of dollars to put wrought iron additions on top of our existing fence.
So
we have about 200 feet of fence. And are you listening to me? Are you paying attention?
I am totally listening to you. I'm trying to turn off my buzzing phone.
Oh, your phone. Look, I've been with a lot of people in my life. Your phone goes like every 2. You're the most popular female I've ever met.
Oh, that's the good news and the bad news. That's what I tell my kids. It's the good news and the bad news is the same news.
So
busy.
You and I are starting a fence company called Frank's Fence, right? Mm-hmm. Especially after last week. I called 3 fence companies. 2 of them said they'll be out tomorrow, which was Wednesday, right? And I'm spending thousands of dollars to put these additions on top of the wrought iron fence, with like pointed, this is wrought iron, and I'm going to make, if those coyotes jump, they're going to impale themselves. Right? Neither of them show up. Neither of the fence companies show up.
I don't understand that.
I'm spending as much money as we were buying a new car. Cash.
So you're trying to give them money and they're just not showing up.
They didn't show up. That's why
terrible.
we need to start our fence company. Now, I don't know anything about fences, but I know I would show up.
Yeah, well, that's half the battle. That's 50% of the thing, just showing up.
I would show up with a clipboard and a measuring tool. What do you call that?
And a name badge?
Oh, yeah, I'd get a name badge. And I would act like I know. I'd start measuring. I'd just start walking. And I would make quotes, crazy quotes, right? Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I just follow you. I'd have the clipboard and you just yell things out and I'd write them down.
Yeah. I don't know what to do. If you're listening out there and you know somebody in the wrought iron fence business, can you call, please, 298-5487? Cody's right here. I'll give you the job, 298-5487. Otherwise, I'll learn how to be a welder.
You're going to have to go get a soldering tool and do it yourself?
No, I think you have to be licensed to be a welder. Welders it's a dangerous profession.
Well, you were just going to say they make good money, and you'd be right.
Your profession is, to me, it seems dangerous. You sell real estate, lots of it, millions and millions of dollars of it, and you still knock on doors. Hi, this is Kathleen. What do you say when you knock on a door?
That I'm there to help if they have a need.
Oh, come on, girl.
That's what I say. Hi, I'm Kathleen with Century 21. We just sold the house down the street. We have more buyers than we have houses, and we're looking for the next person to sell.
Cody, do you buy into that? So if Kathleen comes to your door, knocks on the door, and she said that to you, what are you going to do?
Well, personally, I'm in no position to decide whether the house will be sold or not, so I'd probably just be polite, maybe offer in for a drink, but that's about it. Water.
You want her to come in for a drink, don't you, Cody?
Water. Just because it's hot outside, I'm going to be comfortable.
At least he's an honest young man. You want her to come in for a drink. Okay.
And we have had that before. In fact, some people are just lovely. Some people are not very nice, and that's okay. I don't attach myself to that. Everybody goes through.
If you knock on the door of a single guy, does he say, "Hey, come on in, let's talk about this"?
Well, I wouldn't say yes, for heaven's sakes.
What would you say?
I would say, let me go get my partner. What time is good for you tomorrow?
Yeah, let me go get my partner who's 6'8", 280 pounds. Yeah.
I.e. my bodyguard, and we'll be back tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you've had people ask you to come in, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Well, we always have a funny story that I like. We set a time limit on it because we're busy.
Do you carry mace with you?
No, but I would never go alone, just so you know.
Do you carry a flashlight?
No.
Oh, so just to finish off on the Lexi Lulu story. So I have 1,000 lume. Have you ever had 1,000 lume flashlight?
No.
Have you, Cody?
Close, I think. Something similar.
Okay. So
I'm pretty sure
our police officers carry 1,000 lume and higher. So when you shine 1,000 lume in somebody's eye, like I shined it in my own eye, I'm in the LA. How stupid am I? I'm in the LA Gear store, and my friend tells me about flashlight. We go to this gun show, right? And he says, "Coach, you got to have three things. You got to have a gun, you got to have a knife, and you got to have a flashlight." So I have the gun. I didn't have the knife, so I wind up spending $350 on a knife I've never used. I'm afraid of the knife. I'm afraid to even hold the knife. I don't know where it is. But he said, you got to have a flashlight. I said, why a flashlight? He says, well, if you get 1,000 lume flashlight, somebody comes to your door at 2 or 3 in the morning, and you turn that light on their eyes, they will be blinded. I said, you're kidding? He said, no. I go to LA Gear, and I can't believe I did this. I'm testing the 1,000 lume. I'm holding it like this. And then I'm yelling, I'm blind. I can't see. I'm yelling at the top of my lungs in LA Gear. There's people in the store. And the guy comes rushing over. He says, you're not the first one to do this. Just sit down and relax. It's going to take about 20 minutes. It took 20 minutes. And then I had that black dot, Cody, for like the rest of the day.
And you bought 3?
I bought 3. I bought one for myself, one for my wife, and one for my daughter. But here's the end of the Lexi Lulu story. I went to LA Gear the next day, and I bought a 3,500.
Oh, my God.
35. I light up my backyard like Dodger Stadium. I'm not kidding you. So the thing is, at night, I flash this in the hills. I can see the eyes of the coyotes. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
That's why
that
I
does
do
make
it.
sense.
Yeah. Everything I'm saying makes sense, doesn't it?
No. But that did.
Maybe as a gift. You don't have a 1,000 lume flashlight?
I don't.
Okay,
if I do, I don't know that I have it.
You're a Gemini, so I know
am.
your birthday's in June.
It's in May.
Oh, it's May. May's a Gemini?
Mm-hmm. The second half of May and the first half of June.
I'll get you a belated. You know what? I'm going to go to LA Gear. I'm going to get you a personal 1,000 lume flashlight.
Again, I'm not going to look at it, just so you know.
No, but you keep this seriously.
No,
girl.
I think it's brilliant.
You put it in your
think
purse.
it's
You put it in your purse, and if somebody, this is better than mace. If somebody comes up to you at night, you just flash this on them.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's very smart.
We'll be right back. The show is called The Business of Life. Her name, Kathleen Bruno. I'm the coach, Coach Ron Tunick. We're going to come back. We got this dilemma, ladies and gentlemen. It's a serious dilemma. We're going to try to figure out once and for all how to make the big dilemma work for you, too. We'll be right back. You got some aches and pains, you weekend warrior, chronic inflammation or chronic pain? Well, guess what? I've got a solution for you. It's called Men Cryotherapy, right here in Santa Clarita. Men Cryotherapy is what the major leaguers are using to mend their aches and pains. They're in the LA Fitness Shopping Center on Newhall Ranch Road. They could be a wonderful blessing for you to relieve you of your joint pain and regain your mobility. Remember the name, Men Cryotherapy, or check them out at mencryotherapy.com. That's MEND cryotherapy.com.
When you're looking for a midnight snack, sometimes fast food just doesn't cut it. California Bakery and Cafe is open 24/7, so you'll be able to find fresh donuts, danishes, bagels, all-natural fruit juices, gourmet sandwiches, and much more at any hour. With elaborate cakes for any occasion, including weddings, baptisms, anniversaries, corporate events, or any special event. California Bakery and Cafe in Santa Clarita is open 24 hours to satisfy any craving, anytime. Call us, 255-1254. That's 255-1254.
There's only one Santa Clarita plastic surgeon who is Yale trained and board certified, Dr. Justin Heller.
To be a board certified plastic surgeon like myself, what that truly entails is about 5 to 7 years of honed surgical training in reconstructive, all areas, as well as aesthetic, so which means your facelifts, your breast augmentations, your body contouring, true training, and board certification. In fact, that's the only board certified area that can be achieved in this realm.
Dr. Justin Heller, warm, understanding, always available for guidance because he's local. HellerPlasticSurgery.com.
With Facey Medical Group, good health is within your reach. Our doctors provide Santa Clarita's finest primary and specialist care at 4 convenient Santa Clarita locations. If you're looking for connected, convenient, personal care, there's no better place. We accept most health insurance, including plans offered through Covered California. Call 1-844-MY-FACEY for more information or to schedule an appointment.
Santa Clarita's hometown station.
Now FM 98.1 FM and AM 1220. Your hometown station.
Let's cut right to the show. Brought to you by KHTS 1220 AM and 98.1 FM. Award-winning KHTS. This is an award-winning radio station because we do so much for the community. You know that.
I do.
KHTS actually cares and loves the people of Santa Clarita.
Well, I love the owners of this station. They're
we don't
just
love
incredible.
the people in Akron, Ohio. We just love the people in Santa Clarita.
We love all the people.
We're going to love LeBron if he comes to the Lakers. I'll tell you that much. We will love LeBron. We're also a Dodger station. All right. Back to Kathleen Bruno and the coach. If you're thinking about selling your house, I'm not kidding you, will you get top dollar?
I will.
Century 21?
Yes,
Kathleen Bruno?
Century 21.
On Valencia Boulevard?
Call me.
Excuse me. Little allergy. The flowers are out. Everything's blooming.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Every
Makes the
is
real
this
estate
May
pictures.
or June? I've lost
It's
track
June.
of the
We're in the
month.
middle of June.
Every May I get this cough, and why am I getting it in June?
I don't know.
I always get it in May. I didn't get it in May
Maybe
this
things
year.
bloomed late this year.
Okay, Daryl's in the hallway. He's upset. We'll bring him on. Actually, he gets anxiety. He won't come on the air. He just wants us to represent him.
I know. I asked him
Daryl
again
in
today.
the hallway. All right, so let's talk about the big dilemma. So, divorce rate is high. It's getting worse. Why can't a man and a woman figure out how to live together? Is it possible? Is it possible?
It is possible.
It's only possible.
It is possible. I think there's people that have come before us that have done it very well. However, I do think it is difficult because I do think our brains, really formulate things different.
My wife's not listening to the show, but you remind me of my wife if you had brown hair.
Oh.
Because she's bossy like you are.
I beg your pardon.
No, women, my wife, I can't move without her giving me direction. And I'm happy with it.
Well, we can't help it.
Yeah.
I feel compelled to tell
She's
everyone.
She's a backseat driver, just
Yes.
like you
Yep.
are.
Yep.
Why don't you park over? Why are you driving around the parking lot? And because I'm looking for the number one spot. I want to park. For me, I even laugh at myself because I like to walk. And like you, I'm a workout. I'm a gym rat like you are. Why don't I park 1,000 feet away?
I don't know. There's some satisfaction in getting that very first space.
It is.
Yeah.
That's a male thing. Do you do that?
I do, but what happens to me, and it's so horrible, I'm surround myself with super competent people that have been on this planet a long, long time. And yet when I'm not driving and we pull into a parking lot, I'm perpetually confused that they're not picking the parking place. It seems like the most obvious one to me, and it's a whole thing. So
we talked
different.
about that at lunch today. I don't understand it either. I don't understand how people don't have common sense. That just bugs me. How can you be born without common sense? I guess you can.
Yes, but now you're getting off topic because you got to
back
stay
to topic.
men and women.
Men and women. So it is possible for a man and woman to live together.
It is, but you have to give room for the other person. And
okay. It's possible if you keep the restrooms clean. Let's go let's go through the checklist, right?
Well, no, because everybody has different caveats.
What's yours? You have 2 young men, Dylan and Carson.
I do.
And they're up. They're fed up living with you.
Of course. The fact that I'm breathing.
This is not breaking news.
No, the fact that I'm breathing is annoying to them.
Yeah. Okay. So go ahead.
I'm just in an eternal struggle to have
Give
them
me your
speak
3
to
things
me.
that annoy them.
Well, anytime I try to ask them where they're going, anytime I try to ask them who their friends are, I mean, everything I say is annoying.
That's a female thing, too. Ellen always asks me, where are you going?
Yeah, we like to know that.
Yeah, I'm going down to get ice cream.
And I don't know that I necessarily care where they're going. I just like to know where they're going, if that makes sense.
You care.
No, but we know what I'm saying. It's like, I'm not.
So that's your number one thing. Where are you going?
With the older one, it is, yes.
Okay, what's the
now
second?
Not in
what's the second? Do they make their bed?
On and off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your number 2 thing?
The tone of their voice when they're speaking to me.
Cody, do you make your bed in the morning?
Yeah, it depends on the morning. Some mornings, more than others.
Do you realize how important making your bed is? Seriously, I can't be more serious. I'm going to do a whole show on making your bed.
I understand. Sometimes, though, what I'll do is I'll just kind of like sleep almost like above the covers with the blanket on me.
So you don't have to make the bed?
Not so I don't have to, but it's one of the kind of, nice side effects of it. I don't have to in the morning, but...
Yeah.
Kathleen, all day, I took her to lunch. I paid for lunch today, my first lunch, buying her lunch. She kept asking me, what is Cody going to talk about, the Millennial Minute? Every 5 minutes. What do you think he's going to talk about?
That's all I think
about. It's all she thinks. What do you want to talk about?
Well, something that's kind of interesting that happened kind of last week, multiple incidents, is there's kind of been, I would say, last 5-10 years, kind of a big blow up in this kind of like underground, a lot of young kids, hip-hop scene, where they go straight from the internet to kind of record deals, millions of dollars. And in the last 4 days, 2 were killed, and 1 was robbed and hospitalized, and kind of in the last kind of 24 hours, really, there's been more of a windfall of older people kind of coming out and saying, like, hey, like, you guys got to start kind of reining it in. Because I think for years, I've clearly seen it. There's been a lot of instances. I mean, people getting shot at, people, people that are hanging around.
And then this young man, I did see this in the news.
I did too, because my 17-year-old's very invested. He
had an interesting. They make up names. What was his name? Something triple X.
It was an N.
It's XXX Tenacious. I've heard it pronounced Extinction. I've heard it pronounced
21 years old.
20. I think 20 is what I saw. Yeah.
And did a fan kill him or a disgruntled?
Last I heard, police had a $6,000. I want to say bounty for anyone that could provide information. From what I remember reading, it was a robbery, but they took a Louis Vuitton bag. That was it. And I think it was 2 people shot him and drove off, and that's where they are right now.
And there's some weird speculation about a red kerchief or
there was
mask
I think the initial report said the gunman was wearing a red mask.
Right.
And there's people posting pictures on social media wearing red masks.
This is why I wear Oregon yellow and green, because people love yellow and green. You need to, both of you need to.
The thing is, though, if you ever shoot anyone, you'll be the guy in the giant Oregon.
Yeah, you're not going to get away.
Yeah, it'd be tough to get away.
Yeah, you're not going to get away.
No,
you're the only guy wearing this color. There's no other scapegoats.
I wear yellow and green every day.
There's not many 6'4" guys wearing yellow and green walking around.
No, really. And sometimes when I walk in looking like a Christmas tree, people look at me and go, "Oh, there's yellow and green again."
Well, I love it because I can always see you when I'm trying to find you.
Yeah. All right, back. So that's an interesting Millennial Minute. It's sad for your generation, right?
Very sad. But, I mean, it's one of those things. I think it's very sad someone had to die to get to this point. But it seems like people are starting to come around that it's not all fun and games. I mean, it clearly hasn't been. People have been getting shot at, stabbed for a couple of years now.
Well, yeah, you go back to, but also you go back to, generations before, like Tupac.
Of course,
so
which kind of settled down for a while.
I wish our show was like 3 hours, because I would love to get involved in a gaming discussion with you. Maybe next week.
Any week, Coach. Let me know. Any week.
So here's a big question, Cody. Do you play Fortnite?
Honestly, I've played, but no, I don't really play it consistently.
Okay. My boys love it.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest, I watched it and kind of really dig it.
there's a reason why it's popular.
I'm
There is a
embarrassed.
reason.
My grandkids play it. I'm embarrassed to. I have not seen. What's it about?
Well,
is it a shoot 'em up thing?
Yes, and that's why initially I was dead set against any shooting games,
Right.
first-person shooter
Right,
games.
right,
I'm just
right.
against. But the way it's structured, there's no blood, there's no bullets, there's no nothing. When the character is killed, there's a ray of light that comes down and takes the guy away. It's not a gory scenario. But what I do like about it is that they have thought of everything. So watching my kids being strategic with other kids, thinking things through, have to forward think, really, they've done an amazing job of putting this game together. So I'm probably not on board. A lot of moms still are very adamant. They're against it because it's a shooter game. But I wanted to know what they were playing, and I sat down and spent the time really looking at what they were doing.
Good for you, Mom.
And yeah, because it's a thing. I don't want to just arbitrarily say you're done. You're not. Turn that off. It's a shooter game. You're
Do you
finished.
realize there are people that make $500,000 a year that get paid, that people pay to watch somebody?
They make way more than that, Coach.
And actually, people don't pay to watch. It's
Can
free.
you show me how to play
free.
the game? Maybe
I can't play
I need
it.
to get into gaming.
I
can
can't
show
play
you
it.
how. Take a few minutes. It's
Who
pretty
was
simple.
the athlete
I
that
have
just
to
played it for somebody won $3 million?
Ninja would be
There you go.
the famous kind of
You
pro
have
player.
to use both thumbs because I can't do that. Do I have to? I have
Well,
to
I
use
mean,
both.
really, if you want to be competitive, you have to use a mouse and keyboard. So you have to use two full hands. So,
Oh, you do?
yeah, it's
Why
one-
don't you and I? We'll cut Kathleen out of this, but why don't you and I start a Fortnite camp?
Story of my life.
team gets people together? Yeah, I mean, it's
No, I'm
well,
serious. Why don't we start a camp and we'll charge people like $1,000 to learn how to play?
Wait
it?
a minute.
not
I'm
a
the
bad
Fortnite
idea.
proponent. I want to be involved.
There
That's
is
a
schools
gold
that
mine.
offer scholarships for other games, but there are some schools that are offering scholarships for people to be, esports players.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm
Not
good.
the University of Oregon, I can tell you that. We're not offering school.
I don't think Nike is super on board with
Stop it.
with
Okay,
esports.
Nike gives money to everybody, not just to Oregon.
Okay, well, then I'm going to start something and not include you two. I'm going to bring mothers in to educate them about Fortnite, which will lend the game way more money because that's
when you
who's paying
start
for
your
the
show
skins.
in July, the Kathleen Bruno show, you should literally do that.
That would be hilarious.
Well, see, that's the thing. If you just would tell the parents they don't not buy their kids the skins because they don't do anything and they're just kind of a waste of money.
Well,
that'd be-
no,
that'd be a big
because my kids, according to my kids, if you have the default skin, then you're immediately bullied in the beginning of the game and sent astray.
You're talking over my head now, okay? Time out. So,
I mean, that kinda
how
sounds
much,
like
how
a
much do you
reason-
pay for the
justification.
How much do you
and that's
pay?
how they got me to buy
How
it.
much do you pay for the Fortnite? Do you have
Nothing.
to buy
It's
it?
brilliant. They made it free.
So,
Brilliant.
time out. How do they make money?
Cosmetic microtransactions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, if you want a different looking hammer, if you want a different looking hat,
Oh,
if
then
want
you
certain
buy it.
Pants.
Yes.
Well, they also do a thing. I believe every few weeks, few months, they release it. It's like $10, $15, and then as you play, you unlock more things, but you have to keep playing. And you
So,
have to pay money.
Monopoly and Scrabble sounds like they're out.
Although, wait, hold the phone.
Hold the phone. Breaking news on
breaking
KHTS.
news.
You're listening to the Business Life.
Wait
Kathleen
for it.
Bruno.
We
Wait
had our
for it.
friends over with 3 kids, two of whom play Fortnite, and my 2 play Fortnite. So in the beginning, they were all showing off to each one another and playing, so on and so forth. However, fast forward 4 hours, all 5 of them in the loft playing Headbands, which is a board game. So all is not lost, right?
Yeah, board games are still big. Card
Yeah.
games are still big. People
Yeah,
still play
I
these
was
things.
thrilled. Yeah.
There's actually some board games, I can't remember the title, you can't get your hands on because people buy them and flip them for 40% the price, and they still sell. So I don't know.
Wow. That's amazing.
We're going to get back to the big dilemma, but do you watch television?
Honestly, very little. I actually watch television.
So it's amazing. Matt waited on us today. He's 21. He doesn't watch any television. Does Andrew? Andrew doesn't have a mic. Ask Andrew. Does he? Do you have a mic? Do you watch television? Andrew watched television. Okay, one out of 3.
Mine watch very little television.
And yeah, my kids don't watch television.
Honestly, I watch primarily YouTube. There's content in YouTube I like, and I just watch that because if you
Andrew's
find
agreeing.
yeah, when you find something you like, you can just sit there and watch it for binge watch it for 5 hours.
It's going to be interesting to see in the next 5 to 10 years how all this entertainment stuff, this Fortnite, every other kid is playing it. Nobody's watching TV. At some point, the sponsors have to be going.
Well, they'll shift.
Yeah. Well, one of the other large esports called Dota 2, they've already been getting sponsors. They have
Dota 2.
Yeah, it's more in depth. Not as many people play it. It's a more difficult game. A lot of money in the competitive scene, but Mercedes-Benz sponsors their tournaments. I believe Facebook has an exclusive deal with one of the tournament hosts to only stream through Facebook. So these big companies are kind of taking notice and
What do we
turning in.
think
Well,
we
that
get
makes
Century
sense to me.
21 to sponsor? We need to get Century 21.
Well, Century 21's on the cutting edge, so I'll be surprised
No, we
if
need
they're
to
not
get
even on
we
it.
need to get involved in that. If Century 21 gets involved with your show, which I think they will, we could do something.
Right now, a lot of companies are struggling a bit with the demographics. I remember one thing, speaking of Mercedes-Benz, they took a lot of heat because essentially their marketing thing was, grow up and buy a Mercedes-Benz. And they're kind of struggling to find out exactly who are these esport markets.
But you young
to make
dudes
money
have a
off
lot of dough. You can afford a Mercedes.
But in all honesty, just what I've been seeing on the news, this isn't just a kid's game.
It's not, but it's more the spending priorities.
Yeah.
For example, if you have a lot of money and you're a kid and you're playing it, you're going to spend them on meaningless cosmetics. You're not going to save them and buy a Mercedes. They're kind of struggling to figure out exactly how to market
But
to them.
subliminally, they're sending that out.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what a lot of advertising
But
is
these
anyway.
games, and maybe you'll address it next week, it's becoming a sickness. I mean, people are occupying so much of their time playing these games that, we'll talk.
There definitely isn't a whole lot of infrastructure in place for exactly kind of what the limit is for what's unhealthy, what isn't healthy, what is too much, what isn't, fine. There's not really, it seems to be any
All
kind
right,
of
talking about unhealthy, let's get back to the big dilemma. So Daryl will be right with you. Daryl is banging on the window. We'll get right with you, Daryl. Stop it.
Yeah. Why does he want our attention yet he won't come in here?
Well, because Daryl suffers from the same thing most people do. He doesn't know how to communicate with his girlfriend. And I should put him in my school, my camp.
She's here, by the way. I know you didn't see her, but she's here.
Is she?
Uh-huh. And she didn't look happy.
No.
Maybe because he can't communicate.
Well, are guys, Daryl's into himself. Do you think most guys are narcissistic? Do you know what that word is? Is that too big a word for you?
I know what that word is. All my education's in psychology.
Okay.
I do know what that word is. I'm certainly not going to bite on that hook. Do I think all of us could use a little help? We need to lean into one another. So we all think about ourselves.
Watch it. That's not politically correct, girl.
It is.
You cannot lean into another person.
That's actually the name, I think, of the big NBA. The big initiative to get more women involved in the NBA is actually called Lean In. So
See, I'm right
on. No. Have you ever heard it called a Me Too? There's a Me Too movement.
Lean In didn't happen
so
before
Me Too and Lean In are going to have a problem.
No. I didn't say lean in on top of me. I said lean in as in your traits lend themselves to mine and vice versa.
Oh,
so I'm more whatever I need to be to relate to you, and you're more of whatever you need to be to relate to me.
But
it has
don't you
nothing to do
think
with
political? We're talking about the big dilemma, which is trying to figure out how a man and woman can live together in KHTS. Every week, every Tuesday at 1 o'clock, 98.1 FM. Don't forget Hometown Station, hometownstation.com. We have the best radio app in the country. Just go to the App Store. And that's how I listen to my wife on Friday at noon.
Oh,
you
that's
got to listen
awesome.
to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her and Alex.
Well, you just told me this morning. I just realized she's on the radio on Friday.
I can't wait to listen to her. It's weird,
What is their show about?
Coaching. He coaches on, like last week, he coached Charlene on the air about anxiety.
Oh, interesting.
So last week the whole show was on anxiety. The week before it was about people I don't know what it was about. I listened to it. I don't know what it's about.
Well, I'm going to listen to it now.
I don't have your intelligence. I listen. All right. Back to you and me. So men and women we have two different universes. You would accept that, correct?
I would accept that our
men
brains...
are from Mars and women are from Venus.
I will accept that our brains calculate a lot of stuff.
Did you ever read that book?
Of course I did. I calculate a lot of things differently.
That's a good way of putting it. We do we communicate. We communicate differently.
We do.
Men have a harder time, and I'm generalizing, so I apologize. I'm sure Cody and Andrew, young men, are better at it, but we're not as present as we need to be. Does that make sense?
It does.
We hear you, but we're not listening. Does that make sense?
Yes.
My wife will say to me, "Did you hear what I just said?" Yes. Did you understand what I just said? No.
No. No, I understand. I see that with my boys.
She said, "Did you hear me?" She didn't say, "Did you listen to me?"
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know they've heard me 10 times say, "Pick up your room." However, it's not picked up.
Like right now, I'm looking at you.
You have no idea what I'm saying, do you?
No, I'm thinking about the Dodgers.
Exactly. That's the way it is.
I can't wait to get the Dodgers score.
I know.
Right?
We're supposed to get an update from Cody.
Yeah.
But I just think it's a cruel twist of fate. I like the way you put it earlier when you said, I totally understand what God was trying to do, But sometimes it's a little bit of a struggle because of the way we process. I mean, it could be role reversal. You could have a man that listens great and a woman that's thinking about, whatever. But if we just have to bridge the gap that's there, and it's hard.
I'm not going to give out the Dodger score because some people
are recording it. Good thinking.
I used to say tape, but that's
that's just dating you.
Okay, so back to, I like what you said. We do calculate differently.
We do.
How we hear things, how we do things.
We do.
Women, and I'm generalizing, and remember I've had 1 year, well, actually that's not true. I've had 1 year of health class, but many years.
Many years married.
Oh, yeah, many years married, but many years of psychology class. I wanted to be a shrink.
Well, that's what all my education is, 8 years in psychology.
But back, I'm old enough to be your grandfather.
Broker's license.
Old enough to be your grandfather. So back in the day, shrinks weren't popular. They didn't make that much money. So I decided to take a different course. Now they're making lots of bank.
They do. Well, it depends if you have a successful practice or not. I mean, it's all relative.
Yeah, I mean, they can make $200-300 an hour. I know one. I have a family member, a daughter, an older daughter that does very well.
Yeah.
Okay, so we calculate things because we hear things differently.
Yeah, we process things.
We process. That's a good word.
We process things enough similar that we can make lives together, but then enough different that we struggle sometimes in those lives together.
Can I say this, and I get your reaction, and I want to get
Yes.
Cody's reaction. Men need to be more like women.
I don't think that's accurate.
Really?
No, I think there has to be grace for both genders. You're perfect the way you are. I'm perfect the way I am, and we just have to accept.
Well, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm saying I'm 99% right, and they're investigating the other 1%. And I think they're going to find out I'll be right. Yeah. But no, when I'm saying men need to be more like women, men need to be more nurturing.
I don't know that that's true because
Really?
we all play roles in society. I mean, if I'm in a parking lot at nighttime at 2 a.m, I would like to have you with me.
No, you're going to have the flashlight.
Now I'm going to have the flashlight, but I'm just saying
I'm in bed by 10. I'm not going to be with you at 2 a.m.
All right, a picture of you and the flashlight. I'm in the.
Yes, you shall hold up my picture with the flashlight. You're good to go.
All right. What I'm saying is we all bring something to the table. There are men that are very nurturing. There's women that are very nurturing. There's women that aren't nurturing, and men, So whatever we're bringing to the table when we pick a partner, whoever that partner is, we have to make room for their personalities and the way they process things. But there's no inherently good or bad.
My God, we need another hour. We need a week. Here's the thing: how you're dating somebody. So when you meet somebody for the first time, it's always exciting.
Yes.
And especially if you have a instant
chemistry.
Chemistry.
Yes.
Okay. You have bigger words than I do. So if you have instant chemistry, then those endorphins are taking over, not any intellectual properties. Does that make sense?
It does.
So
stop there for a second. Just as why the people that came generations before us wanted you to make your choices before you got physical, because once you were physical, everything else is out the window.
What, Cody? What did she just say? Can you interpret her?
Do you speak woman?
I'm trying to just make sure we can go over the air with it.
Can you interpret what? He's got his hand on the kill button. Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I've never said anything inappropriate.
With my microphone, but no, I definitely see what you mean. I think it's a good thing. Honestly, I feel the same thing as well. It's just once people get physical, as you put it, it just changes any relationship. I mean, that's the kind of common knowledge, but.
Because all the fun. I mean, that first year.
That's
is
what
just
I'm saying.
incredible.
That's what I'm saying. So unless you live with somebody, it seems to me before you get married, you should live with somebody for 10 years.
Okay, I feel a lot of
Well, I
letters
think you
coming
are
in
married,
with a lot
right?
of hate mail.
I think after 10 years, you are married, no matter what you do.
After 6 years.
Yeah.
But
well, there should be a
moratorium on before you're allowed to get married.
No, how. We have to take a break. Okay, we're going to come right back. It's KHTS award-winning. KHTS, one of the best radio stations, if not the best radio station, in the state of California, because we love our community in Santa Clarita, 98.1 FM.
Did you know that SCVI has the only international baccalaureate program in our community? That means that students at Santa Clarita Valley International Public Charter School can participate in very rigorous classes run by highly trained and skilled international teachers. They work with kids to become active, compassionate, and lifelong learners. Students with IB diplomas at select colleges can graduate with a full year credit at their university. Schedule a tour today online at scvi-k12.org or by calling 705-4820.
At City of Hope, we don't believe the future can wait for the future. For over a century, we've been advancing science that saves lives. From 4 of the world's top cancer-fighting drugs to the development of synthetic human insulin, we are maximizing the potential of immunotherapy and making precision medicine a reality. It's not enough to promise future cures for cancer. We must find them sooner. We are the miracle of science with soul. Find out more at cityofhope.org.
Finding the right lawyer can be a challenge, but in Santa Clarita, there's no need to search when there's Hacker Law Group, Santa Clarita's premier litigation firm. Jeffrey Hacker has represented celebrities, financial institutions, accident victims, real estate developers, realtors, contractors, businesses, nonprofit organizations, and other individuals and companies with their legal challenges. Mr. Hacker is one of Santa Clarita's leaders, consistently listed as one of our most influential. When everything is on the line and you need legal counseling, visit hackerlawgroup.com.
Santa Clarita's hometown station.
Now FM, 98.1 FM and AM 1220, your hometown station.
So I want everybody to call Kathleen Bruno over at Century 21 on Valencia. Tell us your favorite donut shop, because Kathleen and I will show up. We will show up in person at your donut shop, and we will spend a lot of money buying donuts.
That is true.
So
I 100% endorse that.
Yeah. So let us know what your favorite. We'll drive anywhere. We'll drive literally
let's
a 30
stop
minute.
at like 45 minutes. I have to work. I have a lot of things going on.
I love Starbucks. I go to Starbucks like almost every day. But I wound up secretly at Dunkin' Donuts. Have you been to Dunkin' Donuts?
I have many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a great special right now.
What is it?
2 sandwiches for hardly anything.
Yeah.
And when you're feeding teenagers, really great.
But they have donuts.
The donuts, that sour cream donut is just fabulous.
I know it's never going to happen, but I don't understand. Starbucks has, they don't really have donuts.
Well, they're pretty. Let's just say the Starbucks donuts are really pretty to look at.
No, but they need yummy, really sugar dripping donuts.
Well, do they still have the morning buns? Do you remember those?
No.
Those are really good. I like those.
Are they? They're not just
buns?
pretty?
No, they're actually good. Yeah, it's kind of like a cinnamon roll, but instead of like a glaze, it's just kind of sugar on it.
But the Schultz just left Starbucks. I don't think he cares anymore. But if I was running Starbucks, I would add a whole thing of donuts.
Well, they partnered 5 years ago with some San Francisco bakery. If you get their bags, the pink ones,
and they do have little mini donuts. But I find at Starbucks, and I love Starbucks, so nobody call me or write me. But I just find that sometimes the stuff looks really attractive, and I think it's going to be delicious. It's pretty, and it's all perfect. And yet, when I go to the donut store, that I don't even know what's happening over there, and not everything looks pretty. It just tastes delicious at the donut store.
No, but this is perfect entree into, we're talking about the big dilemma. Daryl will get to you next week. I'm sorry, okay? Daryl's in the hallway crying like a baby. The big dilemma is how do men and women live together. You just nailed it, okay? It's the same thing, what you just said. You have some kind of relationship. It feels good. The endorphins are going. Then all of a sudden you decide to get married. You move in with each other. And now I leave the toothpaste on the counter. I leave my hairbrush out.
The first year is not representative of, life. There's struggles in life, and it's hard. There's, chores and bills and this and that. And
I didn't know that you snored.
You didn't know that I did?
No, I'm just saying.
I don't think I do, but
I love my wife. I love her and I like her, and I can't wait to see her every day. But when we first got
She's
married...
going to be, wait a minute, she's going to be really angry if you say she snores on the air.
No, she doesn't snore. I snore.
Oh, okay.
So she said to me, I didn't know you snored. So somehow when I was dating her, I didn't snore.
Right.
And then the other
then
thing...
it's too late. We get reeled in and then you snore and we can't sleep for 25 years.
Here's another thing. We're driving. I mean, we'd go up and down the coast. Romantic stuff, right? I'm a romantic guy.
Right.
I would take her on romantic weekends, and I would smoke my cigar. She would say to me, I love a guy that smokes a cigar. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't.
Well,
I mean, yeah.
That's a thing. That's why I'm saying I do agree with you. There can be some misrepresentation up front.
There you go. But go.
On your end, too, because I think you guys may have habits that you keep concealed that we don't see.
And she knew I'm not a neat freak. And she's a neat freak.
Well, she was going to fix you, I'm probably sure. Wasn't she going to fix you at some point?
Oh, no, she's trying to fix me. We've been together a long time.
There's no fixing.
No.
There's no fixing.
I think she's finally, there's still things that she's trying to fix, but I think she just half-heartedly doesn't have her heart in it.
All right. Well, here's what I think is the ultimate goal. You don't pick somebody that's perfect because that doesn't exist. You pick somebody whose flaws you can live with, and
now watch your
they
words.
can live with your flaws.
Watch your words, girl.
He's got his finger on the kill switch again. It's
no,
crazy.
I'm just.
All I'm saying is there isn't a perfect one of us. So you pick somebody who you accept that they have flaws, and you still like them anyway, and you just give grace to each other's flaws, and that's the only way we get to the finish line.
We'll get to Daryl next. Ladies and gentlemen, tune in next Tuesday. We will tell you what Daryl is crying like a baby in the hallway about, that he didn't get on the air today. We'll get back to that. We've got the Millennial Minute next week. And what else are we doing next week? We have the Botox guy.
Oh, we do.
I'm so excited about the Botox.
I'm excited about
I've
Botox
had Botox.
I have too.
Yeah.
Love it.
But you haven't had Botox where I've had the Botox.
Nobody wants Botox where you got Botox.
Ain't that the truth? And I'll tell you next week why I had the Botox where nobody wants to put the Botox.
Do you have to?
No, I don't. Kathleen Bruno, Century 21. I'm serious. If you're thinking about selling your house, remember these two words. Kathleen Bruno. See you next week.